Hi, I'm Nina Kelly and I'm the CEO of Safe New Futures, and this is a series of videos looking at loneliness and its wider implications. In this video, we're going to be looking at some difficult things like the risk of early death. Can loneliness kill you? And the answer is yes, it can, according to studies carried out by Julianne Hold-Lunstad. And she used meta-analysis combining data from 148 studies, and they tracked the social habits of more than 300,000 people worldwide. The health and mortality repercussions of loneliness are alarming, and her studies show that loneliness is likely to increase your risk of death by 26%. Now, we all know the risks associated with smoking, with millions of pounds spent each year warning people of the dangers of smoking and helping people to quit the habit. However, loneliness, living alone, and poor social connections are as bad for your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And similarly, obesity and overweight has long been a problem that many have grappled with in the quest to remain healthy and maintain longevity of life. And yet loneliness is even worse for you than obesity. And despite the appointment of a loneliness minister 5 years ago, there is precious little being done to raise awareness of or provide support for those who are struggling with loneliness. And there's also a risk of adverse health complications associated with loneliness. So, the evidence continues that for adults over 50, loneliness is associated with an increased risk of developing coronary heart disease and stroke. Loneliness increases the risk of high blood pressure. Loneliness with severe depression is associated with early mortality, and loneliness is a risk factor for depression in later life. And it also puts people at risk of greater cognitive decline and dementia later in life. And then there's a whole list really of mental health complications that are also associated with loneliness. So, we understand that older people with mobility issues are likely contenders for loneliness, but actually people under the age of 30 are the loneliest age group of all. 16 to 29-year-olds are twice as likely to be chronically lonely than over 70s. And it affects their mental health and it affects their levels of anxiety in particular. Other studies show that the loneliness amongst young people is fueled by social media exposure to seemingly happy peers at social events looking fabulous and apparently having the best of times with close friends. But, for all age groups, seeing other people in close family or friendship groups can exacerbate that sense of feeling unloved, unwanted, or alone. During the pandemic, I remember crying watching videos of people extolling their good fortune to be with the love of their lives, or who engaged in cuddling, hugging, kissing their loved ones in front of me. At other times, I remember being at community events, sitting on my own, separated from the other family groups, bringing home my own separation from my children who lived some distance away from me. In fact, it felt cruel, at times unbearable. And yet this is the world that many young people inhabit daily while scrolling through their social media accounts in the supposed safety and comfort of their own homes. So one of the biggest reasons to deal with the issue of loneliness in our lives, especially for the younger age groups, is because of the negative mental health effects that loneliness can cause, exacerbating anxiety and creating an increasing downward spiral in low mood and feeling alone. However, creating awareness and getting the conversations going around the issue of loneliness is a powerful first step in combating the problem. I'm really happy to come and talk at an event, or if you'd like to see more about some of the white papers that I've written on this subject, please do go on to our website, safe.org.uk, or click on the QR code, and I'd love to engage with you more about this really important subject that we all need to address as a matter of urgency.